Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Meesha.
Welcome to another episode of the North Atlanta Real Estate Podcast with your amazing host, Meesha Roswell.
And Jeff Ahi.
And today we're diving into Roswell, one of North Atlanta's most sought-after communities. Roswell blends small town charm with big city convenience, historic buildings, lively restaurants, and the Chattahoochee River, I would say, is the star of Roswell, cutting right through.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Georgia 400 cuts right up the middle of Roswell, and you have the zip codes, only two zip codes, 30076 over on the east side of Georgia 400 and 30075 over on the west side. And so we'll be talking about those areas, and yeah.
So the population of Roswell is about 80,000, and the median income is about 124,000, and a very young population of 40 years. That's the median age. Yeah. And we do have a good blend. There's no one dominant industry in Roswell. So there's a little blend of hospitality, service, tech jobs, and whatnot.
Yeah. And so one of the things that categorizes Roswell is if you look at it on the map, it's a little closer in to downtown Atlanta than Alpharetta and Milton and Cumming. And so geographically, people kind of use that if they want to be out in the suburbs, but they don't want to get too far out, then that's where you're going to go. And of course, that's, Atlanta grew like concentric rings of a tree. And so the older cities are going to be closer into the center of Atlanta. And that's what you see here. Roswell was developed first, and then it moved out to Alpharetta, and it sort of continues like that. And we're still growing north. Well, we're growing out in all directions, Atlanta is. But so what you get there is that, you get a nice blend. Homes are predominantly built in the mid-60s to about 1980, 1985, kind of be in generally the newer side where most development stop. But of course now have a very vibrant development in downtown Roswell, just like all these areas. They have a lot of growth right near the center of the city. And so a lot of new construction there.
And Roswell is one of the larger cities in Georgia.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's comes in usually, depending on someone's list, 8th or 9th in population in the state. It's
bigger than Alpharetta. Alpharetta is about 25 square miles, and Roswell is about 40 square miles. So considerably bigger than Alpharetta.
Yeah, it is.
So how's the real estate doing in Roswell?
Yeah, so I guess let's just talk about those two zip codes we mentioned, with 30076 being the east side market and the 30075 being the west side market, which includes the downtown. And that's important because there is a difference in the median sales price on the two areas. And because of that downtown side, you have a lot of the higher priced homes are over there because that's where people want to be focused near. And so the median sales price there is about $775,000, whereas the median sales price over on the east side, like where Horseshoe Bend in or Martin's Landing, those big neighborhoods, is $642,000 over there. Otherwise, it basically has experienced the same kind of slow downturn of late that we've had across our markets that we've talked about. Sales have been down in September, slightly down in 2025 over 2024, but all in all, not out of line of the kind of markets we've been talking about, whether it's Alpharetta, Cumming, Johns Creek, so in line with that. So that's kind of what we have, but why don't you give us, it's always my favorite part of the real estate section of our thing, why don't we talk about what do you get the most expensive home, the least expensive home, and that mid-priced home, Meesha? I know you did that research.
Yes, so Roswell offers entry-level homes as well as luxurious estates. So the most expensive estate kind of house that we have is 10955 Stroop Road. It's priced at $6.7 million. It was built in 1999 and is owned by the same family ever since. 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and 3 half bathrooms. It's a huge house, 26,000 square feet.
That is a lot of house.
Mm-hmm. And they have an indoor tennis court, they have an indoor lap pool, they have an outdoor pool, and it even has a small lake in the back.
Yeah, no, that is an amazing estate. It's like on 11 acres or something, over 11 acres, right?
Imagine maintaining a property that big.
Yeah.
The high end definitely represents exclusivity, privacy, and prestige. And if you're looking at the least expensive house in Roswell, we're looking at 10630 Worthington Hills Manor. Now, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch 1,400 square feet, and it's priced at $450,000. And the lower end definitely represents opportunity, accessibility, and community. And this comes in at 320 square feet, whereas the big house at 10955 Stroop Road comes in at $256 a square foot.
Right. And so, that one home that we were just talking about, the low end, it was renovated. It looked very clean and nice. And so basically, if, you can get close in to the city of Atlanta to a degree, it's a fairly convenient area where that particular home is located. And so that's not bad for as things are going these days, So $450,000. Yeah.
The median price would be about $675,000 to $700,000. So right down the middle at $690,000, we have 100 Saddle Creek Court. This is a 5-bedroom, 2.5-bath house, 2,816 square feet, and the price per square foot is $245. Now, this house was built in 1972. It's slightly dated.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that characterizes much of Roswell, what we talked about, sort of built in mid-60s to kind of mid-80s as most of it, is the homes built then characterized largely by 8-foot ceilings. Of course, there were some more expensive homes, and there's going to be some outliers there, but generally speaking, that's what you're going to find. So you're going to find there more traditional homes. The floor plans won't be as open unless someone has opened them up generally. So it's that kind of thing, right? It's almost like it's not much different than Roswell.
Yeah.
Or Roswell is not that much different than Dunwoody, for instance, or Sandy Springs. It's kind of that same flavor to a degree. Yeah.
So let's say you've helped me buy a house and I've moved into Roswell.
Yeah.
Now, what are the fun things that I could do in Roswell?
Well, as we talked about, one of the popular things right now is downtown Roswell, and it has a very vibrant city center. It's basically, most of it is off of Canton Street running north-south rather than a square city. However, they have a lot of things going on there. One of the things that's been going on for years, and it sort of started this interest in downtowns. Roswell is kind of like the original little city that had a lot going on, is they have this thing called Alive After 5. It's been going on for many years. We're on the third Thursday of each month between April and October. From 5 to 9, they have a lot of live music there, lots of events. You have lots of food trucks there, and you get a huge turnout. For people love that, and it's a lot of fun. I've been there myself many times. It's a lot of fun. So you have that, and then you have it is a fairly historic. It's built in at 1830 is when it was founded, and so you have sort of that antebellum kind of initial, I guess, development. And so they have some historic homes there: Barrington Hall, Bullock Hall, Smith Plantation is down there, and there's some ghost tours at night. And so
cool.
It has a lot of things going on like that. Yeah. So things to do. Yeah. And then of course, one of the things, and I think we mentioned it or you did at the outset, is it is bordered by the Chattahoochee River on the south, and the park system there. I think everybody in Roswell is pretty proud, and they should be, of all the parks. They have a Chattahoochee Nature Center, a Roswell River Walk is down there, and there's a lot of river access, and you know a lot about that. So why don't you tell us about the river access? I don't know if there's anybody that knows it better than you.
Yes, I do know about the haul from Alpharetta to Roswell every day when I take my son for rowing, and we've been doing it for about 3 years. There are 3 major clubs that row out of the Chattahoochee. You have the Atlanta Junior Rowing Club, the St. Andrew Rowing Club, and the Atlanta Rowing Club, which is for the adults. Now, Georgia Tech also has a rowing club that rows out of the boathouse off very close to St. Andrew Rowing Club. So if you're in Georgia Tech and or if you have a child in Georgia Tech and who wants to try out rowing, definitely reach out.
Yeah, and down there, I guess that's also where they have the boardwalk that goes along the river. You see a lot of people always jogging, riding bikes. So it's a lot of kind of it's active city, right?
Yeah, the Azalea Park, right? That's where the boardwalk is. Yeah. And then you have the Trail of Tears going right through the Roswell parks as well. So if you want a little bit of history, like you mentioned, Roswell being so historic, the Trail of Tears goes right through.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the other things that we haven't touched on yet that maybe we should is that you have 3 public high schools primarily. You're served by Roswell High School over on the west side of Georgia 400, Centennial High School over on the east side, and then the very northern part of City of Roswell is served by Milton High School, which is up up in Milton.
Yeah, so we have 3 schools for Roswell, but you also, if you're going to any of these 3 schools, you also are eligible to apply to Innovation Academy, which is here in Alpharetta.
Yeah, I have to talk about that, right? That's always an option. And there's a number of good private schools as well. So, again, it's another one of these cities that we're so, I guess, fortunate to be surrounded by, where you have a safe city, you have good schools, a lot of activities for families. This one is probably categorized, if you want to have it in your mind, a little bit older homes, a little closer into the city. If you want to contrast that to coming, you're further out and you get a newer home. So it's kind of like a different buyer. It kind of depends what you're looking for.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you have any questions about buying in Roswell, or if you're thinking of moving out of Roswell to any of the other vibrant cities, definitely reach out to either Jeff or me, and we'll be happy to work with you through the process.
We certainly would. Yeah.
All right, Jeff, it was a great episode. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Meesha. That was a lot of fun. Bye for now.